Once upon a time in a village called Nuru, there were many creatures and humans living together. In this village lived a girl named Amara, who was incredibly beautiful with a calm and gentle nature. The people in the village admired her beauty and kindness. The men of the village would often try to win her heart, saying, "Amara, you are so lovely. Will you marry me?" But Amara wasn't interested. She always smiled and replied, "Thank you, but I'm not ready." Every day, Amara would go to the market to sell her goods. She had the freshest fruits and vegetables, and everyone loved to buy from her. Yet, no one knew where Amara lived. She always arrived at the market early and left before dusk, keeping her home a secret. The villagers would whisper, "Where does Amara go? Where does she live?" But Amara kept it a mystery. She was happy to be kind and helpful but chose not to share much about herself. And so, Amara lived quietly in Nuru, admired by everyone but keeping her life private. The villagers continued to wonder about the beautiful girl who came and went like a gentle breeze. One sunny day, a handsome man named Kene came to the market in Nuru village. He was looking for some fresh fruits and vegetables, and when he saw Amara, he was mesmerized. "Wow," he thought, "she is the most beautiful girl I've ever seen." Kene couldn't take his eyes off her. He walked over and said, "Hello, my name is Adiz. What's your name?" Amara smiled softly and replied, "I'm Amara. How can I help you today?" Kene was overjoyed to talk to her. He bought some fruits and stayed to chat. They talked about the weather, the village, and the market. Kene was enchanted by Amara's gentle voice and kind smile. He started coming to the market every day just to see her. They became friends, and Kene felt like he was falling in love. One evening, as the market was closing, Kene noticed it was getting late. He saw Amara packing up her things and offered, "Let me walk you home. It's not safe to go alone in the dark." Amara hesitated, but Kene insisted. She eventually agreed, and they began walking. As they walked, the sky grew darker, and the air became chilly. Suddenly, Kene felt something strange. A cold hand touched his back. He turned around, but no one was there. His heart raced, and he felt scared. He looked at Amara, who seemed calm, walking ahead as if nothing had happened. Kene couldn't shake the fear. He stopped and said, "Amara, I think I should go back. It's getting too dark." Amara turned to him and gently said, "It's okay, Kene. You can go back if you're scared." She smiled softly. With fear in his eyes, Kene nodded and hurried back to the village. He ran and ran until he reached his home. From that day, Kene never returned to the market to see Amara again. He was too frightened by the mysterious cold hand and the dark night. Amara missed him but continued her peaceful life in the village. The villagers wondered why Adiz had suddenly stopped visiting the market, but no one knew the secret of that night. Amara had a secret. She wasn't just an ordinary girl from the village. She was actually from the deep magical forest beyond Nuru. In the forest, Amara lived with her family, who were not human. They had the ability to take on different forms, but Amara was the only one who could look human all the time. Her family loved her deeply, but they didn't want her to get too close to humans. Her parents had always warned her, saying, "Amara, you must not marry a human. Our world and theirs are too different." They were very protective of her. When Kene started visiting Amara, her parents grew worried. They didn't want her to fall in love with him, so they decided to scare him away. The cold hand that Kene felt on his back was her family's doing, a trick to keep him away from Amara. Amara felt sad. She liked Kene and wanted to have friends in the village. She didn't want to live under her family's rules anymore. She wanted the freedom to make her own choices and live among the humans. So, Amara made a big decision. She decided to cut ties with her family in the forest and stay in Nuru village. One day, she ventured deep into the forest to say goodbye to her family. She told them, "I love you, but I want to live my own life. I want to be free to make my own choices." Her parents were sad but understood her wish. They gave her one last warning: "Be careful, Amara. The world outside can be harsh." With a heavy heart, Amara left the forest and moved to the village for good. She hoped to find happiness and maybe even love among the humans. She continued to sell her goods in the market, keeping her past a secret. To the villagers, she was simply the beautiful and kind girl from the market, unaware of the magical world she came from. After leaving her family in the forest, Amara felt a mix of freedom and fear. She was determined to live her own life but knew it wouldn't be easy. To ensure she wouldn't be drawn back into her family's world, Amara decided to visit Ebi's shrine. Ebi was a powerful spirit known for helping those who sought a new path in life. Amara walked to the shrine and knelt before Ebi's altar. She spoke in a soft but resolute voice, "Great Ebi, I wish to sever all connections with my family. I want to live freely in Nuru village, away from their control." Ebi appeared in a soft glow, listening intently to Amara's request. The spirit nodded and said, "I understand your wish, Amara. I will grant you the freedom you seek. But know this, your family will not be pleased. They may try to curse you to bring you back." With a brave heart, Amara nodded. "I understand," she said. "I still want to go through with it." Ebi raised a glowing hand and, with a gentle wave, severed the bond between Amara and her family. True to Ebi's warning, when her family realized they had lost their connection to Amara, they were furious. Her mother, consumed by anger and sorrow, whispered a curse into the winds: "May you never find happiness with a human. May they always leave you in despair." Despite the curse, Amara stayed in Nuru. She continued her life in the village, selling goods at the market and interacting with the people. Though the shadow of the curse loomed over her, Amara was determined to live freely, no matter the challenges. She maintained her kind and gentle nature, hoping that one day she would meet someone who could see past the curse and love her for who she truly was. One day, a well-known merchant named Kene came to Nuru. He traveled from village to village selling fine cloth and beautiful garments. Kene was friendly and charming, quickly winning the admiration of many. When he saw Amara at the market, he was struck by her beauty and grace. "Who is this lovely girl?" he wondered. Kene approached Amara with a warm smile. "Hello, I'm Kene. I travel around selling beautiful cloth. You must be Amara, the girl everyone talks about," he said. Amara smiled softly and replied, "Yes, that's me. It's nice to meet you, Kene." Kene was captivated by her gentle voice and kind eyes. He began visiting the market more often, always stopping by Amara's stall. They talked and laughed, and Kene found himself falling deeply in love with her. He admired not only her beauty but also her sweet and kind nature. After some time, Kene decided he wanted to marry Amara. Excited, he confessed his feelings to her. "Amara, I like you very much. Will you marry me and come live with my family?" Amara, who had been cautious about love due to her past experiences, felt a spark of hope. She agreed to meet Kene's family. Overjoyed, Kene brought her to his village to introduce her to his parents. When they arrived, Kene's mother eyed Amara with suspicion. She had heard whispers about Amara's mysterious past and the strange occurrences surrounding her. "This girl is beautiful, but something feels off about her," she thought. After talking with Amara for a while, Kene's mother shook her head. "I'm sorry, Kene, but I don't trust this girl. There's a curse around her. She is not suitable for our family," she said firmly. Kene was shocked and heartbroken. He liked Amara deeply, but he also respected his family's wishes. With a heavy heart, he turned to Amara and said, "Amara, I'm sorry. My mother doesn't approve of our marriage, and I must listen to my family." Amara felt her heart break as she quietly left Kene's home. She had hoped he would see past the curse, but she understood his choice. With tears in her eyes, she returned to Nuru village, the weight of the curse pressing heavily on her. Though her heart ached, she refused to let despair consume her. She stayed strong, continuing her daily life, always kind and gentle, even as her soul quietly yearned for love and belonging. The rejection by Kene made the burden of the curse feel heavier than ever. Desperate for relief, Amara decided to seek help once more from Aberi's shrine. She hoped the powerful spirit might offer a solution to free her from the pain that haunted her. Kneeling at the shrine's altar, she pleaded, her voice trembling with emotion, "Great Aberi, the curse placed upon me is causing so much suffering. Please help me lift it, so I can find peace and happiness." Aberi appeared in a soft, glowing light, her presence filling the shrine with warmth. The spirit gazed at Amara, seeing the sincerity in her tear-filled eyes. "Amara," Aberi said gently, "you have endured much because of this curse. I can lift it from you, but there is one condition. You must remain calm and never let anger take over your heart. If you give in to anger, the curse will return, and it will be even stronger." Amara's heart filled with hope as she nodded eagerly. "I promise, Aberi. I will stay calm and keep my heart pure. Please lift the curse," she vowed. With a wave of Aberi's hand, a warm, gentle breeze enveloped Amara, carrying away the invisible chains of the curse. She felt an incredible weight lift from her shoulders. The curse was gone. Tears of gratitude filled her eyes as she thanked Aberi with all her heart. Returning to Nuru village, Amara felt renewed. She threw herself back into her routine, selling her goods at the market and greeting everyone with her usual kindness. The villagers admired her calm demeanor and gentle nature, though they remained unaware of the battles she had faced and the freedom she had now gained. With the curse lifted, Amara felt lighter, but she remained ever mindful of her promise to Aberi. She practiced calmness in every situation, refusing to let anger or bitterness take root in her heart. Hope blossomed anew within her. She believed that one day, she would find someone who could love her for who she truly was, free from the shadows of her past. Until then, she chose to embrace the life she had, living each day with grace and an unbreakable spirit. And so, Amara continued to live in Nuru village, admired and respected by many, always holding on to hope for a brighter future. One warm afternoon, Amara went to the village stream to fetch water. As she sat on a rock, reflecting on her life and the challenges she had faced, she felt a deep sadness. She missed having someone to share her life with. As she sat there, a gentle voice called out, "Are you okay?" Amara looked up and saw a kind-faced man standing by the water. He had a warm smile and gentle eyes. "My name is Chidubem," he said, walking closer. "You look sad, and I wanted to make sure you're all right." Amara felt a warmth from his kindness. "Thank you, Chidubem. I'm Amara," she replied softly. They talked for a while, and Amara found herself opening up to him. Chidubem listened with care and comforted her, making her feel at ease. Over the days, Chidubem and Amara met often at the stream. They would talk, laugh, and Amara felt a bond growing between them. Chidubem was kind and understanding, and he didn't pry into her past. He simply enjoyed her company and made her feel valued. One day, Chidubem told Amara, "I care about you, Amara. You are a wonderful person, and I want to be with you." Amara was surprised. She felt a mix of emotions, hope, fear, and a bit of happiness. She hesitated, remembering the curse and her past heartbreaks. But Chidubem's sincerity touched her heart. Amara finally said, "I like you too, Chidubem, but I have been through a lot. Are you sure you want to be with me? Chidubem nodded with a smile. I am sure, Amara. Let's make a life together. And so, they became close. Chidubem treated Amara with respect and care, and she found herself growing fond of him. They spent time together, and their bond deepened. It wasn't long before Chidubem proposed to Amara. He wanted to make her his wife and share a happy life with her. With joy in her heart, Amara accepted his proposal. They began to plan their wedding, dreaming of a future together filled with love and happiness. For the first time in a long while, Amara felt a true sense of hope. She believed that with Chidubem, she could finally find the peace and love she had been searching for. The village boasted with excitement for the upcoming wedding, and Amara felt a warm glow of happiness, hoping this would be the start of a beautiful new chapter in her life. The day of Amara and Chidubem's wedding arrived, and the village of Nuru was filled with excitement. Everyone gathered in the village square, decorated with colorful flowers and bright banners. The villagers danced, sang, and celebrated, happy to see Amara and Chidubem together. The air was filled with joy and laughter as they exchanged vows under the warm sun. Amara looked radiant in her beautiful dress, and Chidubem couldn't stop smiling. They promised to love and cherish each other, surrounded by the cheers and blessings of the villagers. It was a perfect day, and everyone felt the love and happiness in the air. As night fell, the couple retired to their new home, ready to start their life together. But as they prepared to rest, something strange happened. Amara began to feel uneasy. Her body felt different, and a cold shiver ran down her spine. She looked at Chidubem with worry in her eyes. Suddenly, Amara's body started to change. Her legs fused together, her skin turned scaly, and before they knew it, she transformed into a giant python. Chidubem's eyes widened in shock and terror. He couldn't believe what he was seeing. Amara, now a huge snake, looked at him with sad eyes, overcome with fear. Chidubem screamed and ran out of the house. He stumbled through the village, shouting for help. The villagers, hearing his cries, quickly gathered around their home. They saw Chidubem, pale and shaken, pointing towards the house. The villagers cautiously approached, and there, slithering out of the doorway, was the giant python. They gasped and backed away, murmuring in fear and confusion. They had never seen anything like it. Some of the elders whispered, "Is this the curse we've heard about?" The joyful wedding had turned into a night of fear and confusion. The villagers didn't know what to do. They were scared of the giant snake but also remembered the kind Amara they knew. The village square, which had been filled with laughter and music just hours before, now stood silent, with everyone watching in disbelief. The village elders decided to call for the oracle, hoping for answers and a solution to the shocking events that had unfolded on the wedding night. The village was in a state of shock and confusion after the unexpected transformation of Amara into a giant python. The elders quickly gathered and decided to summon the oracle, hoping to understand what had happened. The villagers gathered in the village square, whispering and wondering about Amara and the giant python she had become. The oracle arrived, a wise figure who had guided the village through many mysteries. The elders and villagers stood in a circle, waiting for answers. The oracle stepped forward and asked Amara to come forward. The giant python slowly slithered into the center, and with a deep sigh, Amara spoke. Her voice was filled with sorrow. "I am Amara," she began. "I come from a family in the forest. I am the only one who can take human form. My parents never wanted me to marry a human because they feared it would bring trouble. They tried to scare away anyone who got close to me, but I wanted a normal life, to find love and happiness, like everyone else. So, I severed ties with my family, but they cursed me, saying I would never find true happiness with a human." The villagers listened, their fear turning into sympathy. They had always known Amara as a kind and gentle person. The elders looked at the oracle, who nodded solemnly, acknowledging the truth in Amara's words. Then the oracle turned to Chidubem. "Chidubem, do you have anything to say?" they asked gently but firmly. Chidubem, still shaken and ashamed, stepped forward. He hesitated, but under the oracle's steady gaze, he finally spoke. "Yes, I have something to confess," he said, his voice trembling. "I was drawn to Amara because of her beauty and kindness, but I also had other intentions. I thought I could use her to gain wealth and power. I planned to take her money and leave her behind once I got what I wanted." A gasp went through the crowd. The villagers were shocked by Chidubem's confession. They had always seen him as a kind and caring man. The elders looked at him with disappointment, and the oracle sighed deeply. "You plan to betray Amara's trust and use her for your gain," the oracle said. "This is a grave wrongdoing. Amara wanted nothing more than a normal life and love, but you saw her as a means to an end." Chidubem hung his head in shame, unable to meet the eyes of the villagers. The truth had been revealed, and it was a painful revelation for everyone. The oracle and the elders now had to decide what would happen next. The villagers watched, their hearts heavy with the weight of the truth, as they awaited the oracle's judgment. The villagers held their breath as the oracle stood in the middle of the village square, deep in thought. After a long silence, the oracle finally spoke, their voice calm but firm. Amara sought a life of peace and love, while Chidubem sought to use her for his gain, the oracle began. "In this world, actions have consequences. Chidubem, you cannot escape the responsibility of your intentions and actions." The oracle turned to Chidubem, who stood trembling. "You cannot be freed from Amara," the oracle declared. "You must stay with her as your wife. This is the consequence of your deceit and the lesson you must learn. You wanted to use her, but now you will live with the person you intended to betray. This is your punishment." A murmur went through the crowd. The villagers were shocked by the oracle's decision. They had not expected such a verdict. Many felt sympathy for Amara, who had suffered so much, and they were uncertain about Chidubem's fate. However, they respected the oracle's wisdom and knew that their judgment was fair and just. Chidubem looked devastated. He realized the gravity of his actions and the consequences he now faced. He glanced at Amara, who was still in her python form, her eyes filled with sadness and resignation. Chidubem knew he had no choice but to accept the oracle's decision. The oracle raised a hand to quiet the murmurs. This union must now stand as a reminder of the importance of honesty, respect, and true intentions. Chidubem and Amara will leave Nuru village together. They must face the challenges ahead as they try to find a new path, wherever that may lead. The villagers nodded, understanding the weight of the oracle's words. They knew that Chidubem's punishment was not just for his sake, but as a lesson for everyone about the consequences of deceit and the value of true love. With the oracle's verdict, the gathering came to a solemn end. The villagers began to disperse, whispering among themselves about the events of the day. Chidubem and Amara, bound by fate and the oracle's decree, prepared to leave the village. It was a difficult and uncertain path ahead, but they knew they had to face it together. The village of Nuru would remember this tale for a long time, as a story of love, betrayal, and the search for redemption. The villagers watched as they departed, some with sympathy and others with curiosity. It was a somber farewell, knowing the two would face an uncertain future together. Chidubem and Amara walked toward the forest, where Amara's family lived. As they entered the thick woods, the air felt different, more magical and mysterious. Chidubem was nervous, not knowing what to expect. Amara, still in her python form, led the way. They finally reached a hidden clearing where Amara's family resided. As they arrived, Amara's family members, each with their unique forms, emerged.